Today's DLC is us playing BattleTech once again, and today we are up against Mr. Starscream. So Mr. Starscream's been nice, and we've had a bit of a chat. He did crash out earlier, so this is actually our second game together. The first game, we didn't even find each other before the game crashed, which was a little unfortunate. And Starscream. Actually, I had a priest in World of Warcraft called Starscream. I think it was my undead priest, which is pretty hilarious. But today we've got a bit of a fun build. I thought I would go with something a bit loose and ready. So I've gone for the 15mm bracket here. And we've kind of just packed in a bunch of mechs that I felt like I wanted to see, right? So I've got myself a 2D, because I love just running and firing rockets out of that thing. It just cracks me up that it just goes so fast, and it's such a run and gun mech, right? Such a run and gun mech. We got the Panther because I cannot resist having a Panther to jump and sensor lock. We have the 4G here to just plow someone in the face, hopefully with an AC-20. We are at the 15mm bracket, so we're probably going to see a lot of light mechs. This may be a dangerous choice here. I could have brought a Centurion, but I thought, you know what, let's use this baby. And then we've got a Vindicator. Now, I've got Paradise in here. I'm going to try and resist Death from Aboveing. But what I want to do is I just want to kind of use him for hopefully his jump range. We'll see how we go. I might break down. I really felt really bad about swapping this pilot into Paradise. Because the Vindicator is a pretty good mech for this. He doesn't have a lot of guts on him. You can see the difference in guts here. So you can see where his heat bar is. It's a shame I can't quite get there. But you see that second bar below here? How the indicator cuts off probably a fair way back. Whereas if you look over here at Sumo, you can see he can generate a fair bit more heat before he feels pretty bad about himself. Some of the others, yeah, that's pretty bad. That's pretty bad too. So it's only really Sumo here who's got the nerve to stick around. We're going to try and grab early today, because I would like to know what he's up to. We'll probably take the sprint to no cover here. I should be fairly happy going here and seeing how we go. You can see Starscream, he's having a good old chat here. Ooh, nothing. That's interesting. We'll need to get Sumo up then into probably these trees here. I like to take this cover here. This alleyway is a bit of a death trap. If we've got nothing, it's a little scary. We'll move you over here. And we'll get the Panther up as well. We're just kind of... Okay, he's got a Centurion A. So, already we know he's got a bit of armor going on. We might try... I've never done this. I've seen other people do it. I know you can jump your mech up here and across this way. So we might try and do that and see how we go here. So he should go first. I assume MWO is MechWarrior Online. I've played it a little, but I just find it a little tough to grind out C-bills. I kind of want some, another Centurion. Ooh. Alright, so we're going to be facing a bit more tank than what we have. One of these has got to be an arc light. So that right there is arc light, so that's sensor locking. So I wonder if he's going to sensor lock and possibly fire in some stuff. It's our turn. We'll probably reserve here. I don't mind reserving off the first turn. Most of our guys have decent evasion. Most of what he can see is in trees. We didn't ping with Commando, so I think we should be okay just with him exposed and a lot of speed in him. Once we get to here, we'll probably start moving. It's going to be our turn first anyway, if he doesn't. A 1B. Ooh, a 1B. What's a 1B? Is that a large laser? I think that might be the large laser one. It'd be funny when in Mech Lab you can attach like all sorts of weird things to your mechs. I'm gonna probably avoid multiplayer Mech Lab games. You can make You can make chassis only, like these ones here, where you know what they are. Which is probably the games I'll look towards, since I know people are going to come up with some real abusive stuff, and I don't want to join a game where suddenly someone's attached like some crazy stuff to their mech. Alright, so it's our turn. We know this Centurion hasn't gone. How are we going to push towards this? I'll probably bring... I could maybe sense lock something. I don't have a lot of long range fire. I've got an LRM-5 here. I don't think we can get any real direct fire. We've got to be careful with our Vindy here, because it will go after all three of these, so he will have a chance to do a lot of damage to it. I think we'll just stroll up a bit here, and we'll see what he wants to do next turn. He might push with this, or he could actually sit back and drop a... So if he's got sensor locking somewhere else, he could hit us with 2 LRM-10s, which would do a fair bit of work to us. We're going to have to leave the Commando, probably just chilling for a bit, because he does not want to push too hard and get exposed here. Especially this thing could move fairly well. This could probably move fairly well. He's maybe going to cut us off here a little. We have no other sensor lockers, so Showboat is going to maybe have a hard time here, trying to do some work for us. Probably just take her up a little. I think this turn we'll just do the old move up and get into position sort of work. So I think we'll move up here, we'll brace. Everything should be braced in this turn, so that if he does decide to drop LRMs on us, we will be fairly happy with ourselves. Bit of evasion there. Somehow, so he's got this covered, right? I reckon that's possibly close to a shot if we could get to about here, I think. So what we might do is we might set up for that next turn. We'll bring you across this way. He may be able to lob his own shots into this. We could take this hill here. We'd be fairly safe. I think most stuff... It's sometimes hard to tell what is actually visually there. But I think we'll jump across this way. Get most of our evasion. We'll brace up. And be ready for what we need to do here. And then blockade, you can just probably hang at the back here, my friend. Just set up for a turn. We'll take the 2 evasion. Might get sense locked here. You're into a weird spot. I'm pretty sure this spot leads to issues though, because you then have to run back out of it. It is a little bit of a weird spot though. We know this is a medium move. Well, it's on the initiative for medium. So he shouldn't be able to cover enough ground to get a hold of the Commando. So we'll just park here. And probably gear up for this turn. I'd say this is going to be the turn where we get some sightings. So if we can sensor lock this, we can step this way and fire. Paradise. I mean, it's trees. If he's moved all this stuff, I might be okay with that. He will get a lot of the stuff to go beforehand though. So we will have to be dead set careful. He might start shifting all his things this way. So there's probably going to be a sensor lock here so that he can fire some things. I'd probably sensor lock over here, maybe fire in your Panther. What else has he got? He's got a large laser on the Commando. It's an interesting little spot hill climbing there. Alright, so that's probably braced. We'll just reserve down. I think, yeah, he's got no real clear line of sight from there. I think that's what he might have been going for, but you'd know beforehand if you had line of sight before you moved. So what we really desperately want... It's a shame. Sometimes I get a little sad about not having any LRMs. Like, no LRMs on this kind of hurts here, because we could just be jabbing at him, which would force him in. to us. But instead, with nothing but direct line of fire, we have to take this fairly easy. I'm pretty sure if we lock this, we can move here and fire. We will take probably a bit of a beating on the Vindy for it though. I suppose if we take a beating on the Vindy, we can then sprint ourselves forward. What we might do is probably... Can we get some evasion on you? Probably just shift you back here. For now, actually, we'll move you backwards this way for now. We'll brace up. We'll make him move that medium, and we'll see where he goes. If he leaves it here, I should be able to grab a lock with the Panther and then move everything else in. But we'll just see in a second what goes on. Otherwise, I could sprint across this way and funnel up this way. You can post up here and wait for the enemy to come around here. There's a lot of choke points here. Okay, so this guy's coming forward. Alright, he is going to get smashed there. That is not a good place. Unfortunately, we didn't bring Apex, so we don't have the greatest of shooting here, but we will put you over here somewhere, I think. Actually, we'll just jump you, because I don't particularly want to get shot too badly. So jump back, we'll lock this, and then we'll fire in with everything we've got. Yeah, so you brace that up. If we had Apex, this would have been a lot better for us, but we'll take what we've got here.
What's the plan?
And it is not direct fire. How about you, buddy? Can you get direct fire? Not quite, right? And that's not a great move. He's going to have full vision here. I don't want the Hunchback getting abused that much. I could go... Ooh. This hill is providing a little bit of an issue. It's not direct fire either, is it? It's not. So my tank is here. If I could just get a little bit further around, maybe. That's still not direct fire. We're having some direct fire issues. I could go here, but it will mean that we're going to take a round of death from everything fairly much. Let's see what would hit us. Can we just cancel with you for a sec? So Commando, Panther, and possibly a Centurion would all be able to hit us. I think we could step Sumo forward, brace, and then tank up with that, and then we will take all the shots from here. I think that's maybe how we do this. We can move you forward. Actually, you know what? We'll just corner here. So we'll move to here. We'll brace up. He might come around for this vision. And then we'll drop in missiles from you. And I think that's how we'll just play this. We'll probably move you backwards. I need to just have a little bit more ground between me and this, so that it doesn't decide to shoot Paradise, because that would not be a happy time for him. If this pushes forward just a little bit more, we'll be okay. But right there is not good for us. It's a little bit awkward. If he fires with these, I might push forward. I mean, if he fires in LRMs, he could probably... I don't think he can sense lock from there and fire. It'll be real awkward if he does. We might be out of range, actually. Ooh, he could maybe... I wonder if he can lock from there and fire. I think he can, actually. He might be out of range. I should have checked if it was the range issue. Did he just park everything? Alright, we'll just reserve him then. I think he might lock and fire on this. If he does that, I guess we just move forward and fire, move forward and brace. We'd have to move and brace with this one before we could shoot. Might have given him too many turns here. I could have maybe have pushed and braced and then fired. He's probably going to lock this. Firing with this. Ah, that short range to the AC-20 is a little bit problematic here. I suppose we get to go first, so we will know. We might have to move the hunchback here. Okay. Still no vision. There's a lot of tank for us to go through in these mechs. I'd like to probably get... I wonder if he's got Apex in the Panther. Be kind of a good move if this is his sensor locker. This is probably Mockingbird, right? So what you want to do is you want to sensor lock and just brace yourself, or bulwark. Alright, the 2Ds coming in. I don't have a lot of movement range here. Can we get you forward? Just in case. So we'll set you up here. I think if he goes there, he might have vision, but we'll see in a sec. Who's out of sensor range? He might have sensor locked. I don't know what he did. Alright, cool. He's going to step that around. Alright, so he's going to take the trees. That's even a worse position for me to push into. That's going to be hard, isn't it?
Yeah.
We could move here. What's this move? This is okay. We're not in vision. We're going to take a lot of abuse, though. Swing you wide. I think we're going to have to engage on this from this flank. So we'll swing wide here. We'll brace. And then we'll start moving everybody else towards here as best we can. We could lock and fire some missiles, I guess. Let's do that. Move you around here. We'll lock up probably the Centurion at the front again. I mean, it's probably braced. I'd say it's definitely braced, but we'll just give him a few missiles here and there. It's 2 damage, maybe, at the best. At best, I mean, could be worse, right? Could be worse.
Yes, Commander.
Could be a lot worse. So we'll probably push around for this flank if we can.
Firing.
And then I guess we try and take him next turn. He's probably going to push this round for vision here. I'd push this in, get vision, and then fire with most of this stuff onto here. It's a bit unfortunate that it had to be our hunchback that's going to tank this, since he really doesn't want to be losing any of his arms. He's got ammo on one side and a gun on the other. It's the craziest plan, right? You're like, I know, how could I make my mech really, really susceptible to damage anywhere? I'll put ammo on one side and a gun on the other. It's like, why don't you just pile it all onto one side? At least that way I know you're going to completely implode. But nope, that's not how they want to do it. That is not how they want to... This is going to go off in a turn. I'd say push there. Push here. Push here, sensor lock. Push here. Yeah. You could push this one up, sensor lock. Push here, fire. Fire. And go like that, I guess. We'll sensor lock back. No Apex, so Sumo's going to have to kind of tank as well as he can. He will be taking shots from everything here. We might get hit by... What hasn't moved? The Panther's moved, so it's just the 1D, 1B. Which we could probably... If he doesn't move it too far, if he only moves it to here, he might not have a lot of evasion. So we might be able to just clean it up with the AC-20 here. It's the only problem in this confined area with these kind of mechs, you really need to be going at full speed. If you don't go at full speed, you will eat mass loads of damage there. So that's probably 2 evasion to do that move, which is a little insane, because now I just have to lock it and blast it, right? So what we do here is we could even be cheeky here. Yeah, we can't. Alright, so we'll just we'll lock you, because you're still in the trees. I could jump and lock, which might be the better solution, since I kind of want the evasion. We'll take the 3 here. Next turn, yeah, it's not great though. I'd like to be in a position to be able to fire if I need to. So we'll probably jump forward. We'll sensor lock here. And we'll probably clear this 1B. Yeah, so this guy hasn't moved far enough. This is going to hurt a lot when this hunchback opens up. Plus, we've got these guys to open up on him too. We're going to have to be careful with our moves on the 2D. We're probably going to have to start playing the initiative game in a sec. This is going to fire on here with everything. So this is going to be an LRM, an AC-10, a couple of lasers. The hunchback's just going to have to eat this, unfortunately. He is our only tank, so if we can clear this fast, then we might be in luck. If we can't, we're probably a little dead here. Oh, that's crazy. 2. Now, I've got targets galore. Oh, thankfully that missed. Alright, with that miss, we might be in a little bit more luck here. So let's see how we do. So you, sir, could jump forward. Ooh. We can jump up here. It's a lot of evasion going for us, which is probably nice for us. And then we've got 85 and 80. 85, 70. Wow, 65. Alright, we might jump. We could even jump into the water. That would be a novel idea, wouldn't it? I don't think we will. I think we'll keep the trees here. We don't want to bleed off too much of our armor for not a huge game. We can jump into the water if we need to. It's going to cost us a bit of heat to do this, but I think it's probably well worth. If we score a few hits here, we should be through most of this guy. And it'll be... what's that? That's 40, another 20, 60, 85? 85, and then it's gone. Alright, so he's already having a bit of a hard time there. So then we move the 2D forward. We'll probably do a full sprint this way, so that we can fire in everything. And then next turn we can sprint out if we need to. He'll only get one sort of go of firing at this. And then we can book it on out. Firing everything. And then we want to probably run this guy backwards. If we can. We'll see how well off this guy is. He does not look like he's having a great time of it though. Ooh, there's a bit of blocked vision there actually. That's not good for us at all. So now we've got a choice here. We've got some blocked vision. We've got 80s on this guy, but we've got 75s here. I think we still take this because we could potentially knock. 65 though is not great. I suspect we're going to miss with the AC here, which is going to be really expensive for a turn. But I think we'll take it anyway, because if we do score the hit, we will rip things off him, including that leg. So, you know, it's probably worth the risk, because now we can kind of smash this guy up a little. This guy needs to probably run this way, so we'll see what he wants to do. He might come in with his stuff now, so this will probably move here and take a shot at our Commando. We've got to hope that the 4 evasion holds out, or he could move this around and fire. I don't think he's quite got enough for that. Or he's going to go just completely deep on this guy. He's maybe going for this a little. So we'll probably move our Panther over here, entrenched. Alright. He's moving in. That's a little harsh though. So we've got this guy on the floor. We probably want to finish him. 4 evasion's not going to do us all that well. Panther could probably jump sideways and get us vision. We could jump to these trees and get vision. We can get vision from here. I'd maybe like the trees more than I would like anything else. We got to be... It's a little dangerous. I could probably just sensor lock this and go from there. Instead, we get vision here. It's all very dangerous. We get vision here. So we could jump here. For evasion on a Panther, we might survive okay here. I don't think he can quite get this in. He could probably get this in. He could sensor lock us. And then fire, I guess. We'll have to just trust the Panther here in what it can do. So we can fire the PPCs in. Should mean that we can then fire the... should that mean that we can then fire in... Oh, actually, he's dead. Alright, so now we can probably get blockade out and start working on the Panther. Although this guy, he's exposed. He's going to take a little bit more damage. So we'll probably move blockade in and fire on this. I think we just go hard on him now. We could even run blockade around the back of these to scare him a little. I would maybe consider sensor locking over here and grabbing this guy and then doing damage to him. Alright, our Commando is just surviving some of these. Luckily that sprint will keep us alive to a fair degree. We could even bring him around the back here for something like this. And then he has to make a choice on what he does in the middle. He'll probably hit us with this though. Next turn, I'd say. So I think we just... Yeah, we're going to do it. We're just going to go deep. We're going to run right round. As fast as we can. Keep that evasion going. We've got a bit of tree cover here. 70s and 60s, not cool, but you know what? In you go. It's a move and a fire. It's exactly what I need. Heat up a little, and then next up we'll probably come in with the Vindy can probably grab some of this water down here and fire in, and then we'll fire in with the ACs on this. He might continue to fire on this. He can. I don't know if he can see that. He might move for this and fire at this. He's going to move and fire at that. Alright. It would destroy us if it hits us in the torso. It is a possibility. Oh. Okay, that's nowhere near as effective as I thought. I thought he actually might have vision here, but he does not.
What's the plan?
Which is not great for him. Sumo, he can probably happily fire in here. AC's got 50 to hit. I could maybe move up and brace. I gotta be careful of this Panther though. It could just run in and punch us. So we gotta be super careful there. Actually, you know what, Sumo? Can you... You can't get any weird side shots, can you? This is trees though. We could maybe risk the trees here. And have a shot in from tree cover. What would we be taking? We'd be taking a Centurion and a PPC. You know what? Let's go for it. We are just pushing up, right? Push on in, sir. We will ignore the Panther. It's not the greatest of chance. I mean, it's hittable. We might just work on this guy, actually, because we haven't even done any damage to that other guy, right? So it's hittable, but we'll do way less damage to it. So it's not really worth our time. should probably fire into this. Maybe we'll do some, oop. I was going to say we'll do some knockover damage, but we're just going to miss completely, apparently. That's fine. I mean, he's missed twice with his AC-10s. It's, it is well and truly acceptable that I miss. You know? I think we just move forward. And fire on this guy again. 85s, or we could just sit where we are. How hot is this going to make? It's going to make us damn hot. We could ease off with the LRMs, or even the medium laser. 70, we're probably okay with that. At least if we hit this guy. We could hit, actually, the Panther here, so that he has a harder time hitting us, but I think we'll just fire into this guy. He's got to go as well in the light turn, so we'll probably fire on him. At least have him having a hard time hitting us. I mean, an extra +1 is always nice. If he doesn't move this, we might actually be able to knock it. If he goes with this first, we might be able to shoot into this and knock him over. If we'd hit with the AC-20, this guy would actually be on the ground, which would be okay for us as well. We'll probably keep running this way as best we can. He may death them above in with the Panther and try and crush down the Commando. It would be probably a decent move. He doesn't have a lot of... I mean, he's got a chance to hit, right? And it'll do some serious damage. But it's not going to be enough to keep that Commando off you. So we can get... Oh, you know what? Let's just go for it. Let's just get in. Climb on in. And be a real pest. You'll probably just get up and punch this. But I think it's hilarious. This is what I love about the 2D. I just love that it just runs around like a crazy person. And just looks for things to hammer down. So we're going to hope that most of these shots land to knock this guy. Oh, I picked the wrong target. No. I picked the wrong target. I was supposed to shoot that. The misclicks are real. Oh well. It's fine. So we would have knocked that. Then it would be a medium turn. Ah well. You run up, you punch this, I guess. Alright, we are getting hammered down on this guy, though.
Hey, Commando, I'm taking some hits.
So this guy, how much has he gained back? Not too much. So we should be probably okay to move in and fire again.
You betcha.
With the Panther. And just keep hammering this guy down. Let's have a look. I could shoot him with the PPC here and make it harder for him to shoot next turn because he's about to go. I would like to split shot here. I think we just fire in with everything and we +1. Or do we just keep going on the same? I think we just keep going on the same target. We might knock this guy actually. He hasn't braced, so I think if we fire in most of our weapons on this, we should be able to knock him. We'll get the AC-20 hopefully onto this. And then we should be able to get the PPC from here onto this. It's a lot of PPCs onto the same mech. Unfortunately, they don't stack. It would be great if they stacked. I would have loved that. But we'll have to do what we can here. 2 evasion here. I would start getting a little bit concerned about some of this stuff. He gets to go first, so he could maybe. I would fire. Ooh. I would maybe think about punching some of these things. Probably wouldn't move there because that is back shots. Although I think we've got back shots everywhere else as well. Our hump is taking a bit of damage there. That's the thing about these guys, is they do a lot of damage when they start get going, right? So we're definitely going to fire in on you. Hopefully this time our 70 hits And we will knock this guy over. That should be a big chunk out of somewhere. So he should get knocked from... Oh, he's unsteady. So we're going to have to fire him with the PPCs. Hopefully we hit this. If we don't, we might be in a little bit of trouble here. So Paradise. You keep working on this guy. PPC plus an LRM. 85, we need this to hit. We really need that to hit. We could heat up a little. We probably will. I mean, we might as well do max damage now. So we'll go in. Alright, that hit. That should knock him. And we are getting really close to this thing being down. So now we can then group up with the 2 lights onto this. Take this out. It will be his start. So I would probably look at punching this to get rid of 100 damage. Or death from aboveing it would be another choice. Since that's 100 damage off the board. At least. So we're going to have to shoot with you into here. You're kind of okay. Yeah, I'd definitely go for this Commando now. I would have... Last turn, I would have probably have gone all in on this Commando. To try and get rid of it. Because you don't want it doing... I mean, it does a lot of stability damage as well. It's a real shame I didn't pick this guy last turn. Yeah, he's going to punch it this turn. So you're going to go for the arm. Ooh, the torso. Luckily, there's no medium lasers. Otherwise, we'd be dead. So what we'll do is we'll keep going this way, I think. How far can we go? 3 evasion. It's not going to be enough to keep you alive, my friend, but do your best. I could even just be cheeky, right, and run up here, but I think we'll go this way. It's a shame we can't quite get around somewhere a little bit better, but we'll have to take the 3 evasion. Fire on this guy. Hope that he dies. I could have maybe have gone with the Panther first. But I think we are about to lose this guy here. So we'll go for the torso. We should be able to kill him. Come on. There he goes. And then next up, I think we'll have to work in our Panther. Probably onto his Panther.
Waiting on you, Commander.
We could probably even... How much heat do we have? We've got a fair bit of heat. We could probably jump full in here. Although that really screws over that, doesn't it? We could jump this way. Fire on his Panther. I think we start working down the Panther now. Since he's got no evasion. We'll overheat for this. We haven't taken any damage on this, so we should be okay here. And then, how much stability has he got? He's got a fair bit, so we won't knock him this turn. This will probably... I would fire on my Commando now. 3 evasion, you might miss, but you just take the risk, right? You just take the risk. We can't really jump with the Vindy, so we just might run as far as we can. And brace. Get some heat back. Get ready for some prep turns here. He might have focus. I would focus this if I had focus. Because you've got a fairly good chance of killing this. There's not much left of this mech. So I'd definitely use my focus to hammer down this. And clear that from the board. And then you're still going to eat a lot of damage here. I might just push up with the Hunchback now. And just go all in on the... Panther now. Because if I can clear that Panther, it's got no evasion. He's not presenting the PPC arm though, so we are a little stuffed with that, but we could probably rip some decent bits if we get lucky. I mean, we've got a chance to hit the leg, we might knock it. We'll just have to take what we can get here. Let's have a look. We need to get Paradise down off the hill. He's having to think about what he wants to do. Definitely, he's got to have focus. I've nearly got focus, and I haven't lost 2 mechs. So he's got to have focus by now. You could easily kill the Commando. It's a shame I can't click on him to show how bad he is, but that torso is nearly gone. Easy hit for an AC here. Easy hit. So he's just got to probably plow on with that. Hopefully the game doesn't crash. Please, let me just finish this game. Oh. There we go.
That shot went internal.
Alright. I would have, yeah. Focus would have been the better choice there. Alright, so we can move and fire. We'll probably, we can move and fire at the... Let's move, for starters. And we'll see what kind of hit chances we have here and how much... See, if I fire on this, I will get a fair bit of heat back. I'm probably pretty happy for this to take any damage now. Because it really doesn't matter on the Vindy. I could have braced. If in normal senses, in normal games, I would have probably, if there was more mechs here, I would have braced for that. But right now, with the amount that we have left here, we're probably okay. Not bracing. I could move up the hill. 40 to hit, that's pretty awful. We're going to have to move in close though. We'll take the 2 evasion. I could even consider tanking here. Or we could move into here. 70. Where's those trees? We could move here. We could just get up close and personal here. He could get behind us, which is a consideration. We might just move to here and brace. I don't think he can quite get behind us. Actually, let's move here. Ooh, here? Move here and we'll brace. Oh, give me my... We do need a little bit of heat back anyway. And that should be us. He'll probably try and crush... I would... yeah, I'd shoot into this. SRM 4. Each hit does 10 damage. You need... I think there's about 20 left on the torso of this thing. So you should be fairly good to just pump that, right? I would love another turn with my Commando. I love... just cracks me up when it runs in and starts lobbing missiles onto... well, rockets onto people. He's not looking happy though. That sounds like a death from above to me. That is a death from above. And that is paradise. Wow, we are... no, that's not paradise. We are crushed down on that mech though. Look at him. He is. He is. Jesus, there's not much holding him together. Let's have a look. Whew, those legs are not looking happy. We could probably just get behind him. Right on over here. He's got no evasion. I mean, this is pretty much death for our Commando anyway. I don't think he's going to survive much more of anything here. So we won't overheat. We cannot overheat. Because if we overheat, we are pretty much screwed. I'm fairly certain we will just explode. Hopefully we... whoa. Those go to the legs. Alright. Explosion time there. Woo! Next up, Panther will probably just move forward then. And brace. Because we are one hot Panther. One hot Panther indeed. I would probably... I would try my luck at this. That Commando is pretty much just glued together, right? Pretty much just glued together. You could go for the punch. There's no modifier. Oh, there is a modifier for the fact that he's... surely he got focus, right? He gets a modifier because he's small, but other than that... down he goes. Down he goes. That's alright. I'll take the... I'll take that trade. I will take that trade any day of the week. Paradise. In you come, my friend. You're just gonna march forward, I think. We'll turn off your LRMs. We'll try and save, can we fire here? That would be great. Okay, so we'll probably save some heat. Yeah, we're okay with this. Back shot, 65 to hit. That'll do. I mean, it's 3 mechs onto the one, right? 3 mechs on the one. Plus an AC-20 to the back should do some work today. We could even get to about here and have a monster of a time here. I think we'll focus. Yeah, we'll focus for this. There's probably, you know, I'd say he can't get behind us, but just in case. We don't want this thing backing up. He is fairly hot though, so there's no real threat of him firing a full salvo here. This should do some decent work. It's apparently hit the arm, which is not the best for us. I would have preferred more shots to the side here. With the Commando down, we don't have a lot of chances to knock this guy. We'll just back up with the Panther and we'll fire. I could have maybe moved behind him, but we'll just take this shot anyway. PPC to the side. Pop that arm. Whoa, that arm is just... it went for miles, that arm. Flung into the oblivion. He'll probably walk in for a punch. You know what, we could use Paradise here for a death from above. I could be cheeky and do a death from above. I don't know if he wants to turn for this. He can't really fire. He is super hot. Anything that he does ram out will probably cost him internal structure, which at this point is a possibility of those legs going. And you really don't want to fall. He'll probably go for a punch. No? I would have gone for a punch, yeah. Ooh. I suppose... Oh, he's shutting himself down. That's got to be a shutdown. Yeah, that's definitely a shutdown right there. Alright, let's death them above this thing. If he's going to shut down, we will definitely come in from the side here. Absolutely smash him. Onto the ground with you. Woo. Left torso. Down you go. I don't mind not using... if this game was going any better for him, I would have not planned on using that. I can't say that actually. I might have, you know. I might have been cheeky and tried to score myself a win with death from above. I'm trying not to because it feels a little dodgy using that Angel of Death at the moment, and that should be it. That should be it.
Mission successful.
Man, that 2D did so much work. I swear. He was just a pain in the butt. Absorbed well, I mean his armor didn't absorb much damage, but just the annoyance that it is what really pesters people. And it just cracks me up, right? Because suddenly you're like, wow, there's an enemy mech in my midst doing 100 damage, doing mass loads of stability damage, and what do I do about it? I shoot it, right? But suddenly it's a small mech, it's moving fast, it's got a bunch of modifiers. Probably the best thing you could do about it. I would have probably sensor locked it. And then I would have maybe considered punching it. Or he didn't really have a death from above pilot. But I would have maybe considered that. What did he have actually? He had Paradise in his Commando. It's interesting. I don't know about this. I don't know about some of these choices here. I got really lucky on these leg hits, actually. Look at this thing. He's like, I skipped leg day and now I have no legs. Let's have a look. So if I was going to take this fit, I would take Sumo and probably Ozone on these two for the tank. I would then probably take Showboat here for the sensor lock, because you don't really need Buckshot. She doesn't need to be here at all. She doesn't really add much to this mech. Paradise, yeah, I mean, he's got nice gunnery and nice movement, But I'd probably stick... Who did I stick in mine? I stuck Blockade. I think Blockade has okay movement. And I think he comes with Evasion and something else. I mean, you're doing no jumping, so this is not great. The move where he moved it a little forward, the 1B, was probably a bit of a disaster for him. Because without that move, without moving far enough forward, you have no evasion. The forest is not going to save you. It's not going to save... What do we got here? 30? So 60 and 80, right? It's not going to save you. It's not going to save this mech at all. 60 and 80, when suddenly you've moved nowhere. 25% more damage reduction. I mean, it's still not going to be great. I suppose you could have hoped that everything I fired into this missed, and then suddenly you can retaliate with all your own mechs. I mean, I would have been sense locking with this and then firing in LRM-10s as well, just to force me out of my weird position and into you a lot quicker. Because I couldn't sit around. You could have locked... You could have made the choice to maybe lock one of my bigger mechs, like the Hunchback or the Vindy, and then dropped 2 LRM-10s on it, which is 80 damage. Say I'm braced, so 40 damage. 40 damage, we'll say about 30 damage, right? 30 damage a turn is not something I can sustain for long. It's basically in 2 turns of concentrated fire, I could be close to losing a shoulder. Suddenly, a lot less armor on my mech, and it's looking a lot more attractive for your AC-10s, right? I mean, every turn I'd have to move and brace. You could step back, you could fire a bit more. You could probably have 2, maybe 3 turns of firing, and my Hunchback would be looking really sad, right? He would be looking super sad. He'd be like, please, stop. I don't want you to drop any more LRMs on me. And then suddenly, you know, I've got my Hunchback up there. You're abusing that with some AC-10s. You could be running this guy forward, firing. Large laser. I'm not sold on this mech having... I'm not sold on the 1B. I think it's the cheaper variant, but... I mean... The 2D is so much better with the SRMs. Suddenly, surprise... 100 damage is well worth it, right? You got to keep him fairly okay, but as long as you keep him towards the back and then suddenly burst out of the back with a bit of speed, it's alright. I mean, you can kind of do that. One of my other games, I think I had 2 of these things and I just sprinted around. You know, you get a bit lucky with some of your fire, with some of the incoming fire. You get a bit unlucky and you're screwed, right? You just boned, but other than that, it is good times with these. But you know what? I enjoyed my game with Starscream, and he looked like he was having a fair bit of fun with his chatter there. So thanks for that. And with that, we'll take a break. Tune in next time for more adventures of BattleTech. Hey guys, thanks again for watching. If you like what you've seen, hit that subscribe button or leave me a comment on anything you want to see in the future.